summer camp. I'm Shane Gray for crying out loud.
Hey man, this is for Connect 3. Connect. She's really good.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I probably will never say who ruined the friendship. You're literally doing an I'll never tell. And I'll never tell. And who do you guys think was artistic jealous?
No, I can't keep denying every minute I think.
While we were on tour, Joe and Demi's relationship had become really complicated. So I was playing the bridge, and it became really good, you know, between she and I for a while, and growing closer than we'd ever been. And I remember thinking in my head, you know, I felt like a bit of pride about it, like selfishly maybe I was like, I'm helping her back into, you know, coming back to being the Demi that we all know and love. She's not gonna do anything crazy, it's gonna be fine. And then this episode happened.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. If I literally move forward, it looks like I'm naked. I'm being childish this morning. Let me stop it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. It's Keisha and Kat here with fresh and wavy content. A few disclaimers. Number one, I don't know a single thing about any of these people's lives, like for real, but the times when I literally should have been face down in my textbook and actually getting my education, I was very much fixated on pop culture. I mean, what's new? Like, I'm fixated on the lives of people who don't know I exist, and people who probably have more, definitely have more coin than I do, and add really no value to my life. So at the age of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, dare I even say 14 years of age, bitch, the law was crazy. Demi Lovato, the Jonas Brothers, you don't think I was hooked? Bitch, I was gobsmacked, jaw dropped. I was even thinking like, hold on, why was Demi not at Joe's wedding? Why was he not at Nick's wedding? So it's like, bruh, I don't know. There's a lot of shady, questionable things that I feel like happened. I feel like a lot of people don't know about. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of like re-jog your memory. Not everything I'm saying is entirely accurate. Some of it is just like public assumption. It's all, well, some of it's true. Some of it's also alleged. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, Demi Lovato and Jonas Brothers, the Jonas Brothers were actually on stage recently. And that really just like did something for me. I'm 25 and I know I'm still young. Everyone calm down, calm it is. But like, there was nothing like when Camp Rock first came out. There was nothing like when I was hooked to my screen actually watching TV. How many of us actually sit our ass cheeks down to flip and watch TV? I don't know, bitch. I'm doing everything on my phone or on my laptop, right? Because we're in a streaming era. There was a time when I'd come back from school, especially on a Friday. You know, a Friday? When they told you a Disney Channel original movie would be coming out, I would fling my backpack, yeah? Number two, if my skin looks ashy, it's because I'm on acne treatment. So mind your business and don't look too close. Simple dimple, fine ass pimple. If you see a pimple, mind your. And number three, if my voice sounds a little bit different, I was literally in bed yesterday watching the OC, obsessing with Seth Cohen, but then also realizing that he's kind of tapped and problematic and very selfish, but also realizing that probably my next type needs to be a nerd. My goodness, I can't believe they tried to make it seem like Seth, Adam Brody, was ugly. Like, huh? Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers were on stage together, and it really warmed my heart. It really did something for little old me, and I couldn't believe it, because I feel like they had like a really messy friendship, and I feel like people don't even know about it like that. And also like Demi Lovato and Nick and that whole law, but then Selena Gomez and Nick, but then Miley, wait, hold on, this is, the Disney them bitches were messy. They were messy. They were messy boots. People hate Demi Lovato. Like, I know so many people who just don't like this woman. They feel like she's problematic. She does too much. She gives fake energy. I'm like, oh my God, guys, we don't know her. We don't know her. Now, do I think she's a little bit of messy boots? Yes, I do. There's some things that she's done which is questionable, problematic, attention seeking. I do think Demi Lovato is messy. Definitely messy. But I do think a lot of the times people are probably referring to when she was heavily taking drugs, you know? As much as, because I think in those instances people always say, why, like, where are her good friends, like, where are her real friends, where was her family, how did no one know, or any of these things. But it's like, you guys have to understand, in order for someone to want to change and get better, they have to want to do it. It's up to them. So it's like, you can have a lot of people saying stuff like, girl, you need to get help, do this, do that. But if Demi doesn't want to listen to it, she's not gonna listen to it. If she's gonna relapse, she's gonna relapse. Like not too much now. I feel like people put too much blame on the other factors. Now, there are some people who are very much yes man, who will be like, yes, Demi, keep doing it, do this, because they're low lives themselves and they want to bring her down to the gutter with them. I'm so happy that Demi at least appears to look healthier. She's smiling a lot. She looks fit. Like, she looks good. She's embarking in a new era of music, and she is, speaking of she, I've been saying she a lot in this video. She's actually back to the pronoun she, her. I think it was a couple of years during lockdown. Oh my goodness, I remember during lockdown she wanted to go by they, them, maybe even he, or maybe I'm pushing it, I don't know. And a lot of people were just kind of like, huh? I think this was around the time of like more and more people wanting to introduce themselves with the pronoun they would prefer. And I think that even nowadays, I don't know about you guys, but at least with like groups that I've gone to, whether it's therapy groups or whatever, a lot of people would have like a tag here with like their pronouns. So for me, it would be like she, her. But for other people, it might be they, them, he, whatever it is, right? Everyone's got their own thing that they want to identify as, and you just have to respect it. You might not understand it as such, because I do think some things are just kind of like a learning curve for you. But I do think it's just one of those things you just have to like respect. And it is what it is. You know, a lot of people in my comment section like, oh my God, you're not respectful at all. Like, how could you do that to Demi? Chill out. First and foremost, I'm sure Demi Lovato will understand a simple mistake. I will not do it again. Can we all just relax now, please? But also, years later, Demi Lovato is back to she, her pronouns. So, okay. I would love to know the flip. Like, I would actually love to interview Demi Lovato. I think we could kiki. I think she's messy, but messy in a way that's like, yes, a little bit problematic, but also my type of messy where it's like, bitch, I feel like you have the tea. And I feel like Demi Lovato is one of those people who, like, she probably wouldn't tell you in full-on detail, but I do think she seems like a cackle. I think we can go and, I was gonna say go for a coffee, but bitch, I don't drink coffee. We can go and grab maybe a drink is not the, yeah. We can grab a smoothie. This Reddit forum says Demi Lovato, Nick Jonas, and the rupture of a decade-long friendship. Okay, now this to me is so intriguing. When I was reading it, I was like, oh wow, I wonder what happened between the Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato once upon a time. Now, this article was actually written 5 years ago. I wanted to ask about a gossip topic that's in my list of top 5 things I would ask God about, given that God is real. The fallout between Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers, and as a backdrop, the tale of changing fortunes in the industry. They all go way back. The Jonas Brothers and Demi were packaged together for Disney Channel movies, music, and tours. The Jonas Brothers were wildly popular at the time.
These outfits are just diabolical. Look at Joe Jonas look at the stance. It's them Disney knees. Also, Joe Jonas' hair, excuse me, huh?
Wrote Demi's first album with her. She came touring with them, and she and Jonas started dating. Sorry, she and Joe started dating. This only lasted a few months, and awkwardly, they broke up before a magazine spread with a couple photo shoot release. At the time, there was some speculation that their management had pressurized Joe to see Demi, who had a crush on him, because it was good for PR, especially with them being in the movie Camp Rock. Soon after, she punched one of her backup dancers, was taken off their tour and sent to rehab. Soon, the eras changed, and the Jonas Brothers began drifting off into irrelevancy, starting in late 2009. They went on a hiatus and pursued individual projects, which were increasingly unsuccessful. Nick and Jonas' initial debut albums, followed by a messy and public band breakup. Demi was still in the public eye and having decent hits, and they still shared a manager. She brought Nick on her tour with her, hired him as her creative director, did promo with him, marketed together, etc., when he was basically a middling star. To be clear, I do think that Demi is messy and petty and maybe not the best friend, but she didn't need to do this. And I don't know many stars who would compromise their own band and FaceTime to bring along their struggling friend all the time during promo solos. Stars don't really function like this. Then in late 2014, the Jonas Brothers' fortunes began to rise again, with Nick releasing Jealous. Can we just talk about Jealous, but like the gospel version, Nick can sing. I don't know about the Camp Rock. I don't know about Nick during Camp Rock 2. It tried to set me like that. To me is annoying as hell. That to me is just boy, like, cough. Do you know what I mean? But anyways, Jealous, the gospel version. If at your big age you haven't heard it yet, bitch, go and check it out and thank me later. The guy can sing. The choir in the background. It's the Ooh, I didn't know I needed that. Also, another thing I didn't know I needed is a short king. The Jonas Brothers are short as hell. And you know what? I love that for them. You know, it's got nothing to do with me. But I always, you know, saw myself as like a taller man. But like, short kings. Okay. I've dated a short, I wouldn't call him a king. He was more like a curse. I dated this short guy before who, I feel like I need to tell the story one day. But it's just like one of those stories where it's like, it's too traumatizing. Like, do you have time? Because... yeah. I don't know if a short king is for me per se. I'm not opposed to it because Joe Jonas is actually fine. Like, I didn't see it before, but like maybe it's with like age and him getting older. I'm like, okay, you know. But then again, is he messy? Because what happened with him and his ex? Nick and Demi went on tour again, the Future Now tour, except now it could be billed as a co-headlining. At the same time, Demi had a devastating breakup from Wilmer, that creepy guy, the creep, who she'd been dating since she was 17 and he was 29. There are a lot of rumours and blinds about them online, that he groomed her, cheated on her constantly, enabled her, encouraged her drug use, etc. Given his track record of befriending broken underage women, I wouldn't be surprised. In 2018, she dropped an album, Tell Me You Love Me. The vocals on that, the production, like, Demi Lovato was underrated. So she dropped an album, Tell Me You Love Me, that was literally all about being heartbroken and being in love with Nick. Now, I don't know if this is true. I don't remember just Nick. But it's what I'm trying to say, like, did she not feel... Girl, this is confusing for me. And it's only like, what's time, Mr. Wolf? It's only 11 a.m. She wasn't in love with Nick, was she?
No, I can't keep denying every minute I think of you. No, I can't keep denying.
Allegedly. Some of the lyrics read, I've been thinking about the future and I've been thinking about the now. I know we're going to be together, I just don't know how. Put that down, that cigar, and pick me up. Play me your guitar. The song I love, I'm thinking we should cross the line. No. Me being messy boots. If we're going to talk about any bitch being messy, Nick and Joe can play the guitar. I mean, so can Kevin though. So it's like, but I'm just like, there's no way this is about him. Put that cigar down and pick me up. Play me your guitar. The song I love. I'm thinking we should cross the line. Let's ruin the friendship. Ooh. It seems like after leaving a possibly abusive relationship, she was confusingly clinging onto her trustworthy, hot friend. This was like a public love letter. And it was like watching a train wreck in slow motion because it was never answered. But they all still seemed close. The Jonas Brothers got back together and aired a documentary which featured Demi and made clear that they all felt like family after more than 10 years of friendship. It was kind of refreshing to see that out of all the mess of that era of Disney stars, at least one friendship had survived and was meaningful. Then a couple things happened at once. Demi's overdose, Nick's wedding, Nick and Joe tweeted messages of condolence. She later said some shady-ish about people acting one way on Twitter and different in real life. Ooh. She wasn't invited to the wedding several months later. She posted / liked some shady things about the lack of invite.
Demi has recently been spotted liking shady posts on social media about Wilma and the Jonas Brothers, and you guys, the internet is truly living for it. The posts range from fans calling out Demi's fake friends for not being there for her through her recovery, like this post she liked which said, quote, Demi has every right to be mad. You can't tell me different. Over 10 years with these people and this is the treatment she gets back? Over 6 years sober, and as soon as she slips up, they decide they don't want to deal with her anymore. You can't tell me she's supposed to let it go. Also, Wilma has been seen hanging out with the Jonas Brothers recently in France while Joe and Sophie are getting ready for their big France wedding, even adding insult to injury by bringing his new girlfriend along. So the gang's all there except for Demi. The former Disney star didn't seem to be too happy about it because she reportedly liked and unliked this photo of all of them hanging out that was captioned, Demi, stay away from these fake people.
Damn, that wedding was, it was looking packed. Where was Demi's invite? Again, we don't know the ins and outs. Maybe they felt like it wasn't appropriate her being there. Maybe they didn't feel comfortable. Maybe they just couldn't trust it with her being there. I don't know. But her ex, Wilma, was. This is where the Jonas Brothers side gets a little suspect for me. Wilma had met the Jonas Brothers through Demi. Seeing a picture of your ex, long-term best friend, your ex and your replacement, his new fiance, all hanging out has got to hurt. Especially when you're recovering from an overdose. In her next music video, she had actors representing Wilma's proposal to his new girlfriend and the Jonas Brothers as things she overcame and was walking away from. Again, this Reddit forum was from 2020. The Jonas Brothers haven't addressed any of this publicly, but the lack of interactions between them and Demi are deafening. In Demi's leaked songs from last year, in a total reversal of her earlier lyrics about Nick, she says that he saw my ship and it wrecked, and now you want to dip out. It was all good back when we were working for the big mouse. We were best friends, family, and everything between. Never thought you'd be the enemy. And I realized that the loyalty was only going one way. Took you on the road, showed you some love, then you played me. You ain't no friend of mine. You left me there to die. Whoa. While it's easy to say that Demi is crazy and being friends with an addict is too demanding, that didn't seem to be the case from 2012 to 2018, when Demi was not fully sober, but in their business interests. Clearly they knew what she was like, having grown up with her. So I wonder if other factors like Nick's marriage or their reinstated status in the industry played a bigger role. I also just think it's ice cold that after such a long friendship that was supposedly like family, they would quickly publicly hang out with her skeevy ex and his new girlfriend. But I don't know, really. What do you guys think caused this decade-long friendship to totally blow up and be severed? I didn't know there was a huge fallout. I didn't know it was as big as this. I remember certain parts of the law, but checking out this Reddit forum and also checking out different articles, a lot of it does check out, but we're just going to say allegedly for the sake of it. I'm going based on public scandals. I'm going based on certain things Demi Lovato has done. A lot of times, Demi Lovato to me is a funny human being because she would do things at times where it just seems like it's giving attention seeking, maybe because people aren't checking for you as much. She would do this thing where she would bring up other women to conversation. She would like shady things. And listen, she's human. At the end of the day, we don't always have this nice bone in us. We want to be messy, especially being a public figure. I'm going to assume there's times where she just wants to say things, but she doesn't want to actually say it, so she would like a tweet. That is messy, and it's not going to sit well with the public. That's why a lot of people just don't like Demi Lovato. But I do think in that same breath, though, I don't think a lot of grace is really given for Demi Lovato. I think people have to understand, not that I know the ins and outs about it, but I'm only going to assume that when it comes to, like, drug addicts, a lot of the times they can be very selfish. A lot of the times it's more focused on what it is that they want, and a lot of times it's not for the betterment of themselves. A lot of the times they are just out of their minds. So I think that being friends with someone like that, you want to help and you want to see them choose a better life for themselves, because they should want that for themselves, the way that you want that for them, right? But you have to understand that in order for someone to get help, to want to be better, they have to do it themselves. And that's why Demi Lovato was constantly back and forth with rehab, leaving, going back in. You know, it was a journey for her. And I think that I'm gonna only imagine in those times she was saying things in which she probably didn't mean. Demi strikes me as one of those people who will literally cuss you the flip out on the phone and then call you in 5 business working days and say, hey, I'm sorry, you know, it was, you know, blame it on this, blame it on do you know what I mean? And it's like, you either can take that and understand it, or you want to cut them off. And listen, if I'm being honest with you, both options, I wouldn't blame you. I think being friends with somebody who is an addict can be very hard. Very hard. You kind of feel like you're their carer. You kind of feel as though you have to put your life on hold to make sure that they're good. And that's not an easy job. And it even hurts more when they don't want to get better. I feel like people don't give Demi Lovato grace. Is she messy? Yes. But two things can be true here. When it comes to Jonas Brothers 2, they probably saw signs Demi Lovato didn't F with. They probably saw, maybe they tried to advise her. She wasn't listening. Therefore, I'm not going to invite her to my wedding. And also, maybe the wives of Joe and Nick were just kind of like, no, I don't want her there. Like, you know, because at the end of the day, they can choose who's going to be on the guest list. But however, though, we keep talking about this whole family thing of like, you know, as a family, we have a great friendship. 10 years is nothing to play with. So, you know, if we're friends for 10 years and you didn't invite me, but you invite everyone else on this planet Earth, it's just, it kind of feels like a dig, and it's gonna hurt. But it seems like they worked it out in the remix, and I love that for them. But it seems as though the law is very deep. I didn't know I needed this But now I'm just kind of like, okay, where's Vanessa Hudgens though and Zac Efron? Like, am I pushing it by wanting that? Who else do you guys want to see reunite? Please let me know. Let me know if there's anything I missed out on. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. And yes, I'll catch you guys real soon for a brand new video.